We are very early in the new year, but what's it going to take for this year, this very year, to become the best year of your life? Is it going to involve more travel, more freedom, more adventure, more exotic locations? Let's see. Increased wealth, happiness, prosperity, better relationships, a stronger connection to the spiritual realm. Whatever it is that you deem fits the criteria for making this year the absolute best year of your life, you're going to enjoy this. We're going one-on-one with a man who's actually helped thousands of people achieve exactly that. The best year of your life, featuring author, speaker, Martin Latulippe, on this edition of the Reinvention Chronicles. He's here, Martin Latulippe. How to make 2018 the best year of your life, from the guy who's actually created the program. More than 1,500 people from all over the world have enrolled in Martin's online program, entitled in French, Martin, how would you say that en français?
La meilleure année de votre vie. So it's the best year of your life.
It's almost melting the hearts and certainly the minds of people who want to make 2018 the best year of your life. And Martin, you and I, let's face it, we've been friends forever, it seems, and we both broke into the professional speaking industry around the same time out of our hometown of Moncton, New Brunswick. You've taken your particular program worldwide. You do a lot of events in Europe, and you've got people from as far away as Africa enrolling in all these different programs.
Crazy, yeah.
It really is, I mean, a decade or more.
53 countries now.
53 countries.
Yeah.
So some have described you, but by way of introduction, some are describing you as kind of like the French version of Tony Robbins. Is that something you're comfortable with?
Nope.
No, you're not comfortable with that.
I know it's coming from Martel. Hey, Dan.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's probably in the similar line. Like, I have a message. I'm super passionate about my message.
And it's meant to be complimentary.
Yes, of course. I know. But I feel bad because, I mean, it's like Tony's such a legend. Like, he's like the Bono of the industry. He's done so much for the industry, and all. We have a very different style, but I admire the guy so much. Yes, it's a great honor for sure.
But my point of saying that is that, Martin, you have studied. You know how Malcolm Gladwell talks about the 10,000 hours. Well, you've got, I'm sure, 50,000 hours in studying success. And for anyone watching who's thinking about reinventing, they're thinking about transforming where they're at in their station in life right now. 2018 is getting going. How do I reposition myself, pivot, whether it's relationships, whether it's my career, my business? You are a world authority on this particular subject, so that's a great place for us to start. Looking ahead into your crystal ball, someone watching, how do they make 2018 the best year of their life?
That's a great question. Just like you mentioned, there's so many spheres they can tackle, and we're all familiar with New Year's resolutions, but very often it's at the surface of it. So there's 5 P's basically that I'm always working from my mind, from my heart, and maybe people watching can consider the 5 following P's, maybe just to go a little bit deeper into how they will tackle 2018 and maybe the rest of their lives as well, because we don't have only one best year of our lives, but we can have like multiple years. The first one is, let's start with the person. Okay. I mean, I love starting with an introspection, like where are you right now, where you're at, are you playing big enough, are you stuck in the procrastination, are you attached to the wall of excuses when you're looking at some of your dreams, some of your projects. And a great tool I love, just to look at the person, the first P, the person. where am I right now, is it's called the 6 level of logics. So number 1, my environment. Do I need to change anything in my environment right now as a person? And an easy way to do that is take a snapshot right now from a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. Environment, surrounding, your friends, your circle of influence,
your community.
Yeah. Where are you right now? And where do you want it to be in December 31st, 2018? And ask yourself, does anything need to change in my environment? Because environment matters, context matters, where you live matters, who you surround with matters.
It influences more than we realize, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Second, behaviors. Let's not kid each other. Some people are repeating patterns after patterns after patterns, and I think we need to level up the level of awareness and consciousness to say, am I constantly repeating bad behaviors? Where, let's say, I set myself big goals, but then a week later, I'm not living up to the expectations of my goals. So behaviors, again, 1 to 10, where am I? Do I need to change some of my behaviors? Maybe be more disciplined, maybe show more determination, whatever that is. Number 3, it's capacities. Do I need to learn new skills? That's a big one, because in 2009, I had to challenge myself to say, I got to step up my English game to enter the marketplace into the speaking world.
Sorry, for anyone who doesn't know, I mean, Martin was a French language speaker, and in fact came to Maritime Canada without knowing any English. What's the line? It's yes, no.
Yes, no, toaster, I love skidoo. And now, I've 2 weeks ago, I was sharing the stage with Gair Vaynerchuk in English. I've shared the stage with you and Richard Branson. So it was tough. But again, it goes down to the person. Can I learn a new capacity? Should I learn a new skill in 2018? And that's a very important and a deep commitment. So we need to think about that. So number 1, environment. Number 2, behaviors. Number 3, capacities. Number 3, that's a big one, beliefs and values.
Number 4,
excuse me. And number 4, beliefs and values.
Okay.
Again, we're in the 6th level of logics. It's called the triangle of Dilts. I love to start when I think about the person, about those 6 level of logics. All right. So beliefs and values. This is huge. I mean, it's like, what do you believe? What do you think is possible? Because the truth is, let's say you want to lose 20 pounds, you don't believe it. If you want to make, let's say, 100 grand and you don't believe it, very often people, when they want to have a great year, they focus on what they want to have, and they totally forget about who they need to become to get that kind of results. And very often, if you scratch, it goes down into the beliefs and the values. Okay?
I love what you just said there. It's not about what you want to have, it's what you need to become.
Oh, absolutely. So number 5, it's identity. Again, who you are as a person. How do you show up to the world? Your identity. Am I the type of person who's a multiple 6-figure earner? Am I a generous person? Am I an enthusiastic person? Define your identity. Maybe the last year, your identity was not next level. And maybe you can challenge yourself in that area. And last but not least, it's the mission. A lot of people, they want to improve their lives. They want to have different kind of tactics or strategies to play a bigger life. But the truth is, if they would just switch their goals for a mission, to select, do you have that sense of mission? Because when we meet someone who's on a mission, I mean, you feel that.
Right.
The presence, the enthusiasm, they're like, the way they're taking action, it doesn't feel like they're goal-oriented. You feel like they're going somewhere for a contribution. It's as if they have like a whole movement following them. I think the sense of mission toward what you're trying to achieve in 2018 is important. So the first P, person, to me, it's the most important one. Because after that, you can make the plan. Second P, the plan. Third P, the partners. I mean, nobody succeeds alone. We have a good friend, Jason Gaynard, who coined, not him coined, but his podcast is community made. I mean, that's a great line. Self-made, it's BS. We are community made. But make sure you build your community. Make sure you structure your environment. And 4P is performance. I mean, let's not kid each other. You got to perform. You got to hustle. You got to work extremely hard. You will have some ups and a lot of downs, but the big question is, how will you manage the downs in 2018? You know, it's gonna happen. So make sure you have a plan on that. And the fifth piece is just the pillars. The way you eat, the way you exercise, all the spheres of life that you've talked about.
Right.
But very often, that's what people tackle first. Relationship, I want to make more money, I want to eat well. No. Start with the person. You know, with the sixth level of logics. And then after that, you know, make sure you have a good plan, world-class plan.
I'm really hearing you're so much more focused on process over price. Is that a fair analysis there?
Yes, absolutely.
The process. So as someone who lives his own process, can I ask you this?
Yes.
What is it you're most proud of?
It's probably like...
Because you've accomplished so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably being in my year 18 as an entrepreneur, but also the fact that I've built that business while I've built also an amazing family, great kids, my wife, you know, because being an entrepreneur is tough.
Yeah.
And having an amazing quarterback at home with my wife, but also the kids, you know, like look, some of my friends are entrepreneur, but let's say they're single, they got no kids. It's like, I would have a lot of time in my hands, trust me. So to me, to the question, what am I most proud of is the fact that 18 years later, after that big gamble, day one out of college with no money, no credibility, no nothing, launched myself in the speaking world. I'm still rocking this industry, still learning and still growing, but also I've managed to build an amazing family in the process, and that makes me proud a lot.
Might be one of Canada's, I mean the entire country's top online marketers. So not just as a professional speaker, but I'm just saying, Martin, from all your online marketing strategies, which you introduced me to many years ago, recently you came, you know, face to face and you worked a conference with Gary Vaynerchuk, who you and I can say is one of the greatest online marketers and personalities in the world.
Yeah.
What is it you take when you run into a guy like Gary Vaynerchuk, for example? What is it you take from that exchange and use now and you can share with our audience?
Yeah, well, two things. Number one, there's absolutely, although he achieved amazingly and we all admire him, there's absolutely no difference between Gary Vee and our reality. You know, just before we went on mic, he was sharing to me that when they launched the K-Swiss shoes, the site went down for 6 hours. I mean, it's freaking Gary Vee. 6 hours. People were trying to buy the shoes. They were sending complaints like, we can't buy, it's not working. The guy got 800 people working for him and the site was down. But the reason I'm sharing that is like sometimes the webinars are not working for us. Sometimes we miss a plane, a cab. But for him, it was all a mindset. So it doesn't matter. Like, hour 7, now let's make some sales. You know, it's like he's going through some crazy struggles. The day I've met with him, he was taking 3 planes. His last meeting was at 11:30. I mean, in the evening. It's crazy. So sometimes as entrepreneurs, when you feel that you have to hustle and things are not working your way, same thing with Gary Vee. But again, to me, it inspires me because sometimes when I get caught into my own struggles, I'm like, hey, if I think that this guy doesn't have to deal with some struggles, I mean,
so
better think again.
In other words, everyone's got something they're dealing with.
Exactly. And the second thing I got from Gary Vee is that the guy, what you see on camera, it's real, but when you meet him, it's even more real. You know, because he was late and he was sending me emails himself to say like, I'm in traffic, it's a mess, let's do this. And then when we met, he was so present there, it was absolutely out of this world. He was real. So to me, I'm like, let's make sure you're real as well. Like when what you say on camera, what you say in front of your audience, I mean, if you can be that good on stage, make sure you're that good as well off stage, and then it creates legend status because that's what Gary Vee is to me. Like he's the guy, he's a legend. Okay?
Well, you said something today, and this is probably a great way to wrap this up. You said 3 words, and I think these 3 words weren't just like a great line. but they were the 3 words that I feel, when I think of Martin Latulippe, I feel you live these words. And I want to share them with everyone now. Generosity is prosperity.
Yes.
I got to get you to expand on that.
Well, to me, it's a mindset. It's a belief, level 4 of logic. It's a value as well. That the more you live with prosperity, with generosity. So, like here, the reason I'm doing that interview is generosity, because I know it will bring prosperity to some of the watchers. You know, to me, everything I do, I try to wrap my actions around this concept. That I don't have, let's say, after a conference to listen to everybody. I like it because if I'm generous to them, it will eventually probably lead to more prosperity in my life. Of course, I'm not expecting that. I'm doing it just like from the bottom of my heart. But it's just like a mindset. A lot of people, they do the business like, it's like, what can you do for me? What can you do for me? I think it's just like, it's not the way to play in this economy. So in everything I do, you know, with my family, with my community, you've known my community work. It's just, to me, I look at my life now and all the prosperity I have, and I'm pretty sure that one of the biggest piece of that was the fact that generosity was at the middle of everything I do, professionally, personally, in my community, friendships, you name it. So that's why that mantra is so close to my heart. Generosity is prosperity.
You know, there's a Canadian artist, a Canadian musician, Bryan Adams. He wrote a great song many years ago called Hearts on Fire, and Martin Latulippe has been setting hearts on fire all over the world, on stage and off, online and off. Martin, thanks again, my speaking brother, for so much for doing this.
Thanks, my man. Thanks, everybody.
Martin Latulippe, and hopefully some of these ideas will inspire you to recreate and reimaginate 2018. Make it the best year of your life, and you know, be the thing that you want to be as you go forward, and hopefully recreate and reimaginate the business, the career, the life that you deserve.